Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers.
I'm Jeffrey Lonin.
And this is Volume Up by the Tease.
The August HSP box is bringing you 5 Davines essentials for smoother, stronger, healthier looking hair. Inside, you'll find the Melu hair serum to transform the appearance of split ends and protect against breakage, New oil to nourish processed or brittle hair, and Love Smoothing lightweight milk for silky softness and long-lasting frizz control. Plus, both the New oil and Love Smoothing milk provide heat protection up to 446 degrees. You'll also get the Solu sea salt scrub to deeply cleanse the scalp and remove buildup, and the Day Day leave-in conditioner, perfect for lightweight detangling and shine. And these aren't just hair care favorites, they're part of Davines' newly evolved Essential Hair Care collection, combining enhanced professional performance with ingredients sourced from regenerative, organic, certified farms around the world. Want to receive next month's box? Check out the tease.shop today.
You were told nice girls finish last, but what if being nice was never the problem? What if the real problem was everything women were taught to give up in order to win? Their voice, their boundaries, their ambition, even themselves. In Nice Girls Win, I challenge the invisible contracts women have been honoring without ever agreeing to them. This isn't a book about becoming harder, louder, or less like yourself. It's your permission slip to lead with confidence, use kindness as your competitive advantage, and build success that actually feels good. Because nice girls don't finish last, nice girls win. So Jeff, what have you been up to?
Oh, an echo. It's back to school finally. Although it feels like they just left school. So
Yeah.
we've been trying to get everybody on the schedule, as
Oh,
it were.
the wake up schedule is brutal. We're trying that too. Not good.
No, but at least 2 of my 3 are going to the same school now, which makes it incredibly and like exponentially better for me.
Wow.
Because I only have to do 1 drop off for 2 kids.
Do both of them go in willingly?
So now that is subject to the day. The TK is very excited about school.
She's California.
So stoked. She loves it. She
does.
marches into her class. She's like when we picked her up on her first day, she said, "Well, I've got so many best friends."
Oh, girl. Okay.
Like, all right. Yeah. So she's got zero trouble sort of making it work. The older one, more introspective, she really liked her last teacher. So it's been a little bit of a thing. So, but yeah, I mean, it almost doesn't matter. They're back. That's how I feel.
They're back. And I don't have to do school drop off anymore because my oldest is driving and he can drive my younger one.
That is incredible.
What's
that like? What is that free up?
Well, my younger one hasn't started yet. So it's going to happen as of Monday. So
okay. All right. Well, you're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that for you. I want that for me. I'm so if I don't have to go trot them to school and
I mean, it's fun, but then it's like, okay, that's a chunk of time.
It's one of those things where it's like it's great, and in the future I'm sure I'll be upset about that it's done, but right now I'm like, oh gosh, guys, come on
ladies,
pick up the
together
pace. Come on. It's like I'm saying if you've got kids, it's like that last 10 minutes before you're out the door is
the worst,
where you're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You knew what was happening the whole time. We gotta go. And they're like, can't put on a sock, can't put, the whole thing. Like, water bottle, where is it? And anyway. But yeah, so that's my big thing. And then the weird like dissonance part is like summer is still very much with us.
Yeah.
It is not fall. And especially in California, it's hot. Like, so like it's back to school, but it is still very much like in the throes of people are still like going on vacations and doing all sorts of stuff. And I'm here like, well,
I mean, it's early, but again, we're early here too. So I don't know.
Weird.
It's a lot. I did feel it was like picture day today, actually. It's like meet your teacher picture day. And my 8th grader is like not into school.
Sure.
And I felt so bad. There's this one dad. This is why I asked you if the girls will go in willingly. This one dad that was trying with all his might to get his little daughter to take a picture. And it was actually really sad because I remembered some of those days, but she was kind of standing like in the corner and she had on such a cute outfit. And
they always do.
Oh my God. It's like all the parents, we like felt it in our heart,
Yeah.
Because we're like been there.
Yeah. It's
kids, they're, you know.
Unpredictable little things, aren't
Mm-hmm.
they?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, okay, let me ask you this. Do you think that you can tell somebody's age by what type of part they have, where they part their hair?
I'm simply thinking. I mean, yes and no. I think like Gen Z is really like white knuckling the center part. So it
Yeah.
feels like if you are every day a center part girly, like you're probably in that camp. And then like
Yeah.
the millennials that are like trying to sort of appease, they yeah. So yeah, I think so. But then it's like really, I mean, the face and hair sort of give away
Yeah.
the age. But yeah,
Well,
but I
that's
think
fair. Yes, of
I
course.
mean, I think because you and I are so like tuned in on what the hair it's yeah, but I think generally there's some merit to that. What are you trying to get at?
Well, there was this article in Bustle, and they're claiming that it's officially the summer of the smiddle part. Smiddle part.
I love a
Come
smiddle.
on. Okay,
I mean,
there's a
look, we gotta
generational
call
hair
things.
divide.
Hmm.
Generational hair divide that is start meeting somewhere in the middle, and that is said smiddle part. And I just
Hmm.
think, wow. I
So
mean, we've got, okay, it's dubbed the micro side part, a
mm,
mid side part, and perhaps the most fittingly, as I've said, the
smiddle.
smiddle part.
I like a
And
smiddle.
TikTok's all over it.
So I mean, my Gen Alpha kids, the older one, her hair just naturally parts a little bit off of so
Okay.
like so it is a struggle to do a center part, and so we sort of like given into it. So
Oh,
she's got a natural smiddle that's like almost so like that's
okay.
good for her. I feel like we've established that a side or smiddle is probably more flattering for most people anyway. So I like
I've never departed from my part.
You've done some
I
photos with
just
the center,
yeah,
haven't
and
you?
it just kills me. I don't know.
I mean,
I
those are good
just
picks. But yeah, I mean, if it feels
those
right or
were.
wrong, like you just got to do what feels right or wrong for you. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully the right part. You don't want to
And
force it.
yeah, you can't force the part. And now I've committed, 47 years to it. So
So you're not, yeah, you're not departing
dang
too
it.
much from it.
Anyway, TikTok's pretty funny around this
I mean, a
because one,
smiddle,
yeah, it's like it's kind of cute. Like, and
yeah,
if they don't want to admit they're old enough to have, or like, yeah, in the generation
to
of a
favor.
side part,
They don't want
then they
to,
want to
yeah.
call it a smiddle.
But
And
then it's like people are like, oh, the side part's back. It's so fun. So it's like, are we hating on the side part again by
well, here's
proxy?
what one said: I'm microdosing a side part.
That's good. That's good.
That's really good. You get all the face framing benefits without the comb over.
It's not a comb over.
I know.
That's tough.
Anyway,
All
that's
the
rough.
face framing, but okay. Anyway, that's good. I'd like,
Anyway,
yeah, let's embrace deviating from. I mean, the center part can be pretty unforgiving. Truly,
agree.
you know?
Okay, that's
Okay.
what we got on that, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, welcome to the fine print, the conversations women are actually having once the Zoom ends, the Slack goes quiet, and everyone stops pretending everything's fine. Each week, we're breaking down a story from culture, business, beauty, or the workplace that says a lot more than the headline itself. Jeff, my one for this week is, have you jumped on or seen? The answer is going to be no because you're not a sports girly. The NFL's female focused WAG campaign. Have you seen it?
I don't even know what words you're. I know what a wag is, but no, I've not even the faintest idea what you're referring to. So,
Okay. Basically, they staged these WAGs like at training camps, and people were like, what? They're together? Not even like wives, it was even like girlfriends.
mhm.
What are they together? And like all these photos of like they're at training camp. Oh my gosh, they're out here doing this. Here's an example. One Twitter said, whatever it's called, what the fuck is going on? Why are all these quarterbacks hanging out with their girlfriends at practice? Has this always happened? Is this something weird? And so, what the NFL is trying to do is get women interested in football as if we're not, and
Yeah.
trick women into being like,
Oh,
it's
look, the influencer girlfriend is
right.
on the field with
Oh my
the
God, I'm
boyfriend.
gonna, yeah, like, and another tweet was, yay, more WAG content. Show me the women that work in sports.
True,
Directors,
true.
scouting and player development, assistant coaches, field training staff, nutritionalists, etc. And I think this totally backfired on them, to be honest, because they're saying that this content. We want it to be authentic and genuine and relatable, and appeal to women and young fans.
Hmm.
What do you think about that?
I mean, so this is interesting that it's dovetailing with the attack on influencers and that whole sort of backlash, perceived or otherwise. I mean, I think whomever you just referenced in terms of like the people behind the scenes, the
Yeah.
women specifically that are
Mm-hmm.
already working at
Yes,
the NFL
please.
and doing all of the varied, interesting, things that make the league work would be much more interesting probably, as a content series than simply having the wives and girlfriends who are obviously support systems for those individual players
Right.
and but I
But it's
think
like, it's also saying that like women were so like, oh, I don't like watch sports.
right,
And
but
like, you're,
well, so it makes me
what?
think of
I
I
mean,
mean, you know how I feel about one Taylor Ellison Swift.
I,
But it
I
does seem
do.
like we're trying to sort of recreate lightning in a
Yes,
bottle of
exactly.
like we bring
Exactly.
she brought so much attention to us and if
Yeah,
we bring other gals and their audiences like it feels very sort of prescriptive and silly like some
it
sort of
is. Yeah.
influencer marketing person was like I've got an idea and they really
Yeah.
ran with it. It also makes me think of and I don't mean any disrespect to her, truly I don't, the girlfriend of the player that makes the outfits from the
Oh, yeah.
that
I don't
that
even know.
gal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, like no disrespect, wife of apparently, so heavy on the W and the wag. Um, I'm not going to say that name, but it's her, that girl, that
Yeah.
woman that everybody knows. Feels similar. Like it's very like
Yeah.
cutesy fucking jersey outfits
It's
on
a
the
lot.
side. Like
Yeah. I want the women that are changing the game. Like I want
yeah,
to see
literally,
the
literally.
female referee. No, it's
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
no, but truly,
here's a
truly.
fun fact. Speaking of NFL, I'm going to give a shout out to my director of finance here.
Mhm.
She is actually the head statistician for the Green Bay Packers. And that gives me full body goosebumps, like
Mhm.
head to toe. Holy shit, how cool is that? That's who I want to talk to.
Women in
That's her.
STEM, NFL, like it's so much more compelling, I think, than like a
Absolutely.
somebody standing on the
Dress
sidelines with a
cute, like
little bag.
right.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a miss. I mean, and it doesn't really surprise me. It makes you wonder who came up with
Well,
said
I'll tell you
campaign.
who came up
Oh
with it.
no, is
Hold
it a
on.
woman?
It was Ian Trombetta, the senior vice president of
Oh,
social and influencer marketing.
yeah. So there you go. There you go.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
authentic content, according to him, but I
Him,
think it's staged.
him, him,
Staged.
him,
Maybe I'll write
him.
him a note.
I think you should like, hey. I've talked to a few women, and we're not
Oh, they're
down.
getting the beat down. Don't worry. So
I
let's
mean,
do
it's
better.
tough. I mean, the NFL has lots of better to do, I think.
Indeed.
But yeah, starting with your sort of outreach to women, doing it thoughtfully, doing it the right way. It seems
Yeah,
like
this
something
was
you
a
wanna,
big miss.
especially considering how much of the audience they already make up. And yeah, so you'd want to do it the right way,
Right.
I would think.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
We don't like it.
I'm not into that. I'm maybe over
I'm not
that. And
into
no,
it
that's a
either.
different segment, but that's
Ugh.
tough.
Do better. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
It's gross. Okay. Enough on that.
Let's get into Obsessed or Over It officially then. This is where we react to products, services, trends, decide if they're a hit or if they're a miss. We're breaking down what's worth the hype and what's not, giving you our honest takes along the way. We can't help ourselves. We're going to be doing that. Go to the show notes. You'll see these links. We're seeing them for the first time. And the first up is dating a hairdresser. So
Okay.
as it loads for me.
Hey, are you single?
Ew, your blonde looks brassy. You should get it fixed. Here's my girlfriend's card.
This is
That's
good.
awesome.
That's
This is
good.
cute. That's great.
Razor showing. You need to touch them. Here's my girlfriend's card.
Hey, do you have
That's
Instagram?
fantastic
No, I can
content.
see your
What are we
ex, but you
seeing,
need a
Jeff?
haircut.
So we're
Here's my
seeing
girlfriend's card.
probably the hairstylist in question getting her boyfriend to refer her to a pretend customer who's flirting otherwise. So somebody's acting as if they're flirting with someone, this guy, and he instead of trying
Oops, sorry.
to get with them is rebuffing them and directing to his girlfriend who is a
He goes
hairstylist.
like, "Oh, your hair looks a little brassy. You should go to her."
Yeah,
Oh, this.
here's her card too. Also like physical cards on TikTok. We're showing
That's
everything coming
wild.
back around. You need all
Business
sorts of marketing.
cards.
Uh-huh. With a QR code on it. It's super smart.
That I'm obsessed with.
Yeah, no, this whole thing is, I think, very funny.
Way to go.
Yeah, good for them. Like,
Do more of this. Yeah,
yeah.
why aren't we doing this? You know, it kind of begs
Guerrilla
the
marketing.
question, like when somebody's like, "Oh my God, your hair looks so great." Stylists, I think you should give your clients a couple cards to keep in their wallet.
Yeah, especially when those codes can be, you know, tracked and they can have
Yeah.
codes that
Yeah.
give them discounts or, you know, any
Yeah.
sort of incentive structure. Like, hell yeah.
Oh,
This is
incentive. Yeah.
so
Because
smart.
this is
Are
good.
you gonna ask your
Okay.
stylist? You're gonna go through like, hey, I could be making you money, so you should be paying me.
No, I would never do that. But I mean,
Oh, see?
that's interesting.
We're being told by one of our producers here that they get a kickback for referring. Yeah, this is smart. I mean, this is
Wow.
well documented and understood. So yeah, I'm obsessed with this, both the concept and this specific video because it's very funny.
That's fantastic. Way to
Very
go.
well done. Okay, Alex Earl has a reality show, and it's on Netflix, and we've got a video for it. I am very over it. I don't give two anythings about this character.
I don't at all either.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like all about her, right?
Yeah, this is tough because it's like, look, we've seen this before where social media people get a show, and I think the D'Amelios had a thing for a while. Like,
they did.
And
You're
it
right.
doesn't necessarily translate.
No.
And I think, unfortunately, this is a lot of we are being forced fed this character. And I think, like, I'm saying it sort of dismissively, jokingly, character, because this is not her real self. This is the social media reality TV self, TM, which, you know, has been perfected by the Kardashians. I just feel like we've seen through this shit so many times. So I'm over it. I don't need anything to do with this. So Netflix can miss me with this one.
Yeah.
Over it.
They're gonna miss me over it too. It's like it's like all of her family. Like she's definitely trying to be a Kardashian.
Right.
Like it's mom, dad.
And it's a smart time to do it. Like we are in the position like of needing a new person. I mean, Kim K, we've all established this sort of like waning power there, and with her family. So like it makes there's got to be some moves made. I'm just saying that I'm not interested in watching that.
We're not interested.
Over it.
All right.
Easy. Next, sensory skincare, sensory storytelling. What do we got here?
Well, we've got just some examples of like bubbles, water, soap, suds, like water dropping down, rubbing this on your body. Like, is that appealing to us? Is that the question? I think the ask is, how do you feel about sensory storytelling? And I love it. I think it's great.
I mean, I think how else now can we really effectively communicate like how things work without showing how it works? So I'm excited. Like, this is a beautiful campaign. What you should be doing versus the sort of pack shot of product, not ever putting it to use. So I think like I'd like to see more and more of this. I'm obsessed with the concept. Feels silly that it's taken brands to come around this long. But like thankfully they're here. And so I hope that we're gonna see more proof of concept in content as we move forward. Don't you think? Like I know there's preciousness around stuff and like old brand
You don't want to get messy or like show it.
No, you want to show the brand
use.
within the proper framing and make sure that the logo is always in this, that, and the other. And I think like we've proven the consumer has shown that's like not of interest anymore.
Fine.
Like you need to have those assets for sure, but that can't be the only approach. And so I love looking at stuff when it's in this way because that's how you fucking use it. So no, I'm obsessed with let's do more of that.
We like
especially
it.
to our brand partner friends that are listening to this. Let's do more of that, shall we?
We can help over at the Tease. Okay. Today we're joined by Mara Roszak, one of Hollywood's most in-demand celebrity hairstylists and the creative force behind RŌZ Hair. After more than 2 decades shaping some of the most iconic looks in Hollywood, Mara turned her signature effortless approach into hair into a brand of her own. Since launching in 2021, RŌZ has grown into a nationwide beauty brand, and with a major investment from L Catterton, it's only getting started. This was a treat, a real treat, Jeff. I can't wait for everyone to listen to this one.
What a get. I'm excited.
Yeah, she's a stud. Okay, make sure that you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
But before we get to Kelly's interview with Mara Roszak, let's talk Tease Beauty news. First up, this is something that, I mean, again, talking about like brands doing marketing the right way, sensorially, etc. This was led by like a thick, literally thick claim. The story is called Sacred is bringing its viral density technology to lashes and brows. Here's what you need to know. So Sacred is expanding its viral density technology beyond the scalp with its new Restoring Lash and Brow Builder, a peptide-powered serum designed to create fuller, denser-looking lashes and brows. Inspired by customers using the brand's hair and edge drops beyond their hairlines, the formula uses Sacred's Biopeptide 5 technology and bioactive keratin ferment to support stronger, healthier-looking lashes and brows. In testing, it delivered 1.4 times visibly thicker, denser lashes and brows after 45 days. Head to thetease.com to learn more about their latest launch and what makes this formula stand out. So I'm sure you've heard of the viral, very viral edge drops. Would you, before this product existed, would you have gone so far as to put them on your brows and lashes?
No, absolutely not.
Like I
mean,
applaud
maybe
the ingenuity,
brow, but not
No, not a lash,
We're
not a
not
lash.
that's not. No,
yeah,
we need.
I'm so glad
specific-
that the brand was like, we'll take that insight and we'll deliver something safely to
Yes.
you. That
Yeah.
that seems like a much smarter, less libelous liability opening.
Indeed.
Yeah. I'm excited about this. I feel like this category was due for some shaking up. So
Yeah,
you know.
I agree. That we haven't had a lot of disruption in that category for a while.
No,
Yeah,
and
right?
again, no, we really haven't. And there's
Yeah.
been with
Smart.
their edge drops, like lots of chatter and lots of results that have been documented. So I'm really excited to see sort of how this lands with people. Obviously, we've seen the before and afters that the brands provided, but I think like as it becomes more and more popular on market, I wanna see what people say
Same.
about their experience.
All right, Eugene Solomon's otherworldly interplanetary hair design for the Kalina Strada CPHFW show. At Copenhagen Fashion Week, hairstylist Eugene Solomon created otherworldly hair for Kalina Strada's Delirium in Bloom show. Inspired by images from NASA's Hubble telescope, he treated hair like fabric and sculpture, even incorporating materials from past Kalina Strada collections. The show featured two main looks: couture disco, a chaotic futuristic updo, and a space fairy with hair slicked close to the scalp and finished with tinsel and glitter. Using Kevin Murphy products throughout, Solomon embraced experimentation and excess, creating hair that felt weird, playful, and beautiful. As he put it, more is more. Oh, I say that. Okay.
You see?
Oh, wow. Head to thetease.com to learn more about the event and see the looks. Jeff, I like
yeah.
a space fairy. That really
it's
caught
so
my
sick.
mind.
No. This like he really
Space
killed it.
fairy.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, these looks again accomplished with Kevin Murphy products and lots of tinsel and glitter. So fun.
So good.
We've said this a million times. Like, don't do boring hair. And they've not done that. They've done the far opposite. It's so inspiring, so exciting. And I hope. I mean, it's Copenhagen Fashion Week, so like obviously outside of the norms, and it sets the trend, and so we'll see to the extent this gets translated to fashion weeks that are approaching, like New York Fashion Week. We'd love, as you and I have said, to see more than a fucking slick back and a chignon. So let's see if we get some glitter and some tinsel. I mean, and they did fun colors too, and the sculpture. Like, yeah, I'm so excited.
Let's actually let's make the hair part of the artistry of anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm
page.
personally bummed that Kalina Strada showed there, and does that mean that they won't be? And I've not looked at the schedule for New York Fashion Week, but that's always been a show highlight for me. I mean, whenever we're backstage, like their hair is so fun. So anyway, again, much respect to Copenhagen Fashion Week for making that happen.
Love it.
Curious to see what it means for us as we go to New York Fashion Week in a couple weeks.
Now stay tuned for my interview with Mara. Mara Roszak is one of Hollywood's most sought-after celebrity hairstylists and the founder of RŌZ Hair, starting her career at just 15, she has spent more than 2 decades working with clients including Emma Stone, Zoë Saldaña, Natalie Portman, Olivia Wilde, and Michelle Yeoh. In 2021, Mara launched RŌZ to bring her signature effortless approach to hair care, creating clean, professional-grade products designed to enhance natural texture rather than fight against it. Today, the brand is available at major retailers and salons nationwide and is entering its next phase of growth following a significant investment from L Catterton. All right, Mara, for listeners who may be meeting you for the first time, you have such a story. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey into hairstyling and what kind of drew you to the industry to start?
Absolutely. I've been hairstylist for 24 years and I'm
Wow.
only 25. So it's pretty unbelievable. No. I definitely got into it at a very, very early age. I was a very creative kid, a shy kid though. And
Okay.
so I always say that hair really brought me out of my shell. I find it to be the most connecting, intimate, vulnerable career
Wow.
outside of being a therapist, even though
Yeah.
many of us very much are unlicensed
Fair. Yeah.
therapists. And I got into it because I absolutely loved the transformation. I loved the tactical feel. My mother was a sculptor, and I
Oh.
very much associate hair with sculpting.
Mhm.
It's incredibly creative, very, very tactical, very precise as well. And I love that transformational aspect of it. I now am a brand founder of RŌZ Hair. It took me a long time to really work up the, I think, confidence
Hmm.
to become the entrepreneur I really am and have always wanted to be. I spent 15 years behind the chair before I even started to formulate my first product for RŌZ.
Wow.
And now here we are, sort of 5 years in, and it's been the absolute um, greatest gift to me and my life as a hairstylist. One, because now I have a kit full of products that I
Love.
feel like are perfected.
Yes.
Two, because my community has shown up for me, both pros, makeup artists, and clients.
Okay.
And I have learned so, so much already in my few years of being a founder of a brand. I feel like I've gone to college on speed. Like
Yeah.
it's been an incredible learning, an incredible gift to my life. And yeah, it's been an amazing third chapter. I feel like I've lived 9 lives in my 25 years.
I love that. That's so incredible how your mom influenced that and like with her hands. My mom was a stylist and salon owner for 40 years. So
Oh my
I
goodness.
just have this love of the industry as well.
Yes,
So I love
yes.
that story. So then, okay, you began working in salons at a young age and trained under Chris McMillan. What were some of the biggest lessons that you learned early on? If I'm a stylist listening and they want to be you, a
Yes,
founder and a
yes.
celebrity stylist, what did you learn in the early days?
One, I would say get your hands in hair. I felt really lucky. I didn't work for Chris directly, but I worked for a man named Neil Weisberg, who
Okay.
was a stylist at Chris's salon. And this is like 2000, going back to 2004,
Okay.
um, 2003, 2004. And Neil was an exceptional cutter,
Okay.
and occasionally would color hair, but didn't like to blow out his clients, didn't want to
Oh,
spend
wow.
the time, couldn't be
Mhm.
bothered. And I was like, let me get in there. So
Yeah.
I started blow drying every single one of his clients
Okay.
and got better and better and better at that. I was already good at it because that was what really got me into hair in the first place was as you can kind of see, it's
Yeah.
quite frizzy. And over the course of this conversation, my hair will get bigger and bigger.
I love it. It's
Uh,
stunning.
I didn't spend a ton of time styling it this morning, but that's what we get. So I got really good at making my hair straight. It was the
Okay.
90s. That's what all my
Hmm.
friends had. That's what I wanted and got really good at it. So I loved styling already.
Okay.
But I think having, 10 clients a day back to back that you're blow drying all these different heads of hair and textures you
Yeah.
are getting, again, the lesson of a lifetime. And I think hairstylists are so tactical that hands in hair is going to be the most kind of expedited way of like getting your,
Hmm.
skill set sort of dialed. Um, I think another skill that I learned really early on was how to enter a room and not bring your baggage.
Mm.
Uh,
Okay.
and of course, physically, you're carrying a ton of baggage. So
Mm-hmm.
that is the stylists are both like so physically strong, but also equally mentally strong.
Yeah.
You are
Hmm.
holding the space for your client to be able to be fully themselves, feel seen, feel genuinely cared for, and you sort of have to be very stealth in your ability to leave your
Hmm.
own stuff at the door.
Yeah.
And that I think is one of the greatest gifts that I learned really early on was it's not the time for you.
Good point. Yeah.
And and I really, really still very much feel that way, even though I have very intimate conversations and relationships with my clients 100%. And of course, over these decades, we've been able to go there and go really
Hmm.
deep. And there is something about being able to have a relatability with the client
Yeah.
in your chair 100%. But I see it very much as their time with you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a really good point because I have been, whether it's just getting a blowout in a random city or your stylist in your salon, and you hear kind of those, the baggage, as you mentioned, like the negativity that they're sort of literally physically
Yeah.
putting on their clients, right? And you're right,
Oh,
it's the
yeah.
best time of the year when you're in a chair, but that is a total downer. So that's a really, really good point.
Yes. It's very, very important, I find.
So your work is celebrated for effortless and natural looks. How would you describe that like creative philosophy and where it came from, how it's evolved over the years?
I grew up in Los Angeles, but
Okay.
in a part of Los Angeles tucked away sort of in the canyon. It's called
Oh,
Laurel Canyon. And it's very lucky because I was surrounded by nature. There were deer in my backyard. Um, it used to rain a little bit more in Los Angeles. And so I remember the scent of the canyon after the rain.
hmm.
I mean, nothing quite like it. And I attribute a lot of my connection to nature, the creative visual world, the things that I am drawn
Yeah.
to have this more, whimsical, imperfect way about them, right?
Yeah.
I and so I would definitely say that that has influenced my creativity and artistry for sure. Um, I think that hair is so beautiful in its natural state. Not to say that we shouldn't manipulate it and play with it and shape it into what we desire,
Hmm.
because I do feel like I have a wide range as a stylist and have honed that over time, right? Okay, this client wants a super sleek updo and the outfit calls for it, and that's what we're going to do today. But then this client really wants this like wild big hair and natural, and that's what we're going to do today, right? So I do think you have to have a wide range. But someone told me really early on that they were able to identify my work on a red carpet in a photo before
Wow.
knowing it was me. And at first,
Huh.
I wasn't sure how to take that. It was like, oh my gosh,
Right.
does that mean that I'm like a one-trick pony?
Yeah.
And that was earlier on in my career. And she was like, no, no, no. That is the greatest compliment. Every
Hmm.
artist, has a sort of signature
Yeah.
way, and there's still so much range, right? Like you can
Huh.
notice a Cy Twombly painting, yet they all look completely different, right? But he
Hmm.
has a way, and you can evolve as an artist and grow. And I think that evolution is also something so special. But I definitely I like the hair to come through. I never want it to feel overly heavy, overly stylized, or like shellacked into some version
Yeah.
of perfection. That is definitely my, I think, nature influence and embracing what is sort of natural in these ways.
Okay. That's incredible. And I love that compliment. I've actually never heard that before in all the interviews that I've done, but I like the way that she framed that. How did you get into kind of the celebrity clientele? What was your one kind of kickoff in that niche in the industry?
Yes, I was very fortunate. I didn't know that I knew anyone in the industry, even though I grew up in LA. I think everyone sort of thinks in LA you're connected to Hollywood in some way
Yeah.
and or connected to celebrity. I had never known a celebrity my whole life long, an actress. Like nobody in my family came from that world. I entered beauty school because of my love of hair and beauty.
Okay.
And that had already been honed over the course of like a few years from, I would say, like 13 to 16 when I
Okay.
entered.
Wow.
Those years, I was
That's
just like,
young.
come over to my house. I'll blow dry your hair. We'll do
Oh my God.
streaks. We'll dye them purple and pink. Like, yeah,
I love it.
totally. And I went to beauty school and the week I graduated beauty school, I was 17, I think turning
Wow.
18.
Okay.
And I got a phone call from a cousin's girlfriend.
Okay.
She was a publicist
Okay.
and they lived up the street, my cousin and her. They were in their 20s. They were young. And but she was a publicist and she had an incredible roster of clients already. I
Hmm.
didn't know what a publicist did. Um, but for those who are listening that don't know, publicists are really the ones representing the talent. They are often booking the hair and makeup. They are placing artists like with their clients,
Yeah.
stylists, all of that. So they're really the ones who often are in charge of linking up hair and makeup with a celebrity or you know, pop star. And she called me and said, and she's one of those people too. She's an incredible connector still to this day. She's a major manager and incredibly influential in the industry. But this was earlier on in her career.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
but she called me and said, Mara, did you graduate beauty school yet? And I was like, I just graduated beauty school. She goes, can you do a blow dry for me? I have a client who wants a blowout. And I was like, yes. That was another early lesson is like, say yes, be as
Yeah.
available as possible in the early days. No job too small.
Yeah.
Um, Nothing is beneath you. You never know who that person is going to recommend you to,
Right.
who that person is going to talk to. It builds. And then all of a sudden, that foundation is built and it just skyrockets.
Yeah.
And I've seen this happen with previous assistants of mine too, where they're available, they're doing some of the, they're schlepping their stuff an hour away for $2 and it's worth it because
Okay.
that momentum building is so key. And so anyway, I said yes because I was available. And I had my mom drive me. All of a sudden, we're driving to like up Sepulveda. There's a gated community, and it is
Hmm.
to Sarah Michelle Gellar's house.
Come on.
And I'm like, I'm sure I'm so nervous. I've totally blacked out this whole experience. I
Sure.
vaguely remember being with her in her bathroom. But I don't remember my kit. I don't really remember much of it, but I know I did her hair and was very excited. And my mom had to drop me off around the corner because it was too embarrassing. I didn't have a driver's license yet, obviously. And I did her hair. And she ended up hiring
Wow.
me for a big press tour. And so lo and behold, I'm like traveling out of the country. I think with, Sony Pictures, they had to figure out if they could even hire someone under 21
Oh my
for a press
gosh.
tour. Is that a liability? But Sarah wanted me, and it was pretty remarkable. And I'm in Dubai and I'm in
Oh
Amsterdam.
my goodness.
And I had been out of the country like one time with my family when I was,
Hmm.
10 years old. So
Yeah.
this was a really big deal and such an incredible opportunity. And
Hmm.
I just took it all in. I listened, I learned a lot, and I entered into this like really incredible family.
Yeah. That's incredible. That one, yes, right?
Yeah, that one, yes,
Yeah.
that one phone call. Again, a
You
very,
never,
very lucky call, but I think you just never know,
yeah, for
you
sure.
know? Yeah.
Always be open to that. So when you're working with clients like her or Emma Stone or Michelle Yeoh, what are some of how do you start to build that trust? Because a different level, right? Of trust, high pressure, the lights, camera, action, all of it. Where does that start?
I think that it's very similar to work behind the chair
Okay.
in a lot of ways, right? I think that, um, where a client behind the chair has been waiting to see you, maybe they've been saving up for that moment.
Yeah.
These are women who are also incredibly busy. It is such a luxury to get their hair done. I think for actors, it's a little bit different. It's part of their job.
Yeah.
And but they're also equally busy, right? And I think that going into that with a lot of nurturing care, which I
Hmm.
genuinely believe that stylists get into this profession because they want to be of service.
Yeah.
And I think that treating it with that same, like every single person is the same level of importance, right? I really treat that with such, what's the word I want to use? I would say I treat every client in the chair, whether it's at my salon or before a red carpet, with sort of the same level of care. Uh,
Okay.
and the one thing that is definitely different getting someone ready for a big red carpet is
Yeah.
that can be such an intense moment for them. There are these cameras and bright lights and people yelling their name. And I can only imagine how intense that is.
Yeah.
And you are like often the last people, the first people they see in the morning and sort of the last people they see before they go out and have to do this big, crazy, vulnerable thing. And so, again, I think the energy is so important. Making sure that they're so comfortable is so
Yeah.
important. If it's very quiet in the room, being quite quiet with them, but maybe saying, like, do we want to put some music on? What kind of vibe can I bring to sort of
Yeah.
either mimic the energy and or lift the energy?
Okay. Yeah.
And so I think that that is really key. And discussing the look, trying to get as much of an understanding of what they're comfortable with. And this is very similar to, in the chair at the salon, really trying to take in, how does that person dress? What is it
Hmm.
that they're really looking for? Um, Taking in as much information before starting the work so that you can really get to the end goal everybody wants.
Yeah. I love that. Where does, thinking about the process, talk to me about the creative process. Where does it begin? Does it begin with the client, the fashion, something entirely else?
I would definitely say that it begins often with what they're wearing. This is for red carpets,
Okay.
right? So,
Hmm.
I love to be in communication with the stylists and, if they had a fitting already, what's the overall vibe? What's the shape?
Yeah. Hmm.
What's the dress? If they have the final dress, sometimes they don't. Sometimes
Wow.
you're going to have to like figure it out on the day of. But ideally, you have a little bit of a sense going in. Okay, this has kind of this 90s silhouette. Now let me pull some like references that I feel like will help complete this sort of
Okay.
storytelling.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I do love to see the kind of whole thing as a character,
I love that.
what's going to fully tell this story, not like this makeup artist wants to do this lip, right? And you want to, have the hair down because you've just been wanting to try the style for forever, right? No,
Yeah.
really, like there will be a time and a place to get that lip. There will be a time and a place to get that volume. You've got to go in with like head to toe. This is a character, and who is this character? And I really think that that's when the best looks kind of come to
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Has there been a look that's changed the trajectory of your career that you could look back on and go, it was that?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I think there are definitely moments where looks go viral.
Yeah.
And
Give
I
me an
think
example of one.
yeah, I would say Cara Delevingne's Wolf Cut
Oh, yeah.
recently. She went a little bit darker. We were in Cannes and she stepped out for the photo call and her hair was just like completely her natural texture. I used the
Cool.
rose milk mousse to really kind of just bring out what her natural texture does and diffused it a bit. And she looked and she wore this Tom Ford suit. It was just like such a
Ugh.
moment where she looked so strong, so
Yeah.
powerful. so gorgeous too and cool. Um, and it just worked head to toe. I would say that that was a really, really fun recent look
Okay.
that I got to create, help
Fantastic.
co work on.
Co-create. Was that one planned or was that a day of?
No, that was a day of. That was a
Oh,
day of. I'm like,
seriously.
what
Oh,
are you
okay.
wearing? Okay,
Wow.
cool. I think we gotta like show off this hair. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Now I want to get into the brand, and your story. So after you've established yourself as a celebrity hairstylist, what made you take that leap? You said you waited many years,
Yeah.
but what made you take that leap to create your own product line?
It's a great question. I started formulating the first product well before COVID. And by the
Okay.
time we were ready to launch, it was 2021. So, you know, the world had changed sort of in the process of it, right? Manufacturing facilities were closed. The
Yeah.
labs were like, it was like one person can only go in at a time. Um, but before I get into those details, I had been dreaming up this product line in my mind for probably a decade. And it was
Wow. Okay.
so influenced and inspired by what my clients were coming in and asking for. And then of course the products I was kind of pulling from for that,
Yeah.
decade plus before. Um, I have one kit and that kit has to really carry
One of
all
everything.
one like yes, and the best of the best,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And yet I was still always like wanting to mix and match and tweak and oh, I wish this had like a little bit more hold or gosh, I wish this was even like a little bit lighter,
Okay.
things like that, a
Yep.
little less sticky, whatever it was. But my clients would sit in my chair and they really started to ask me, what should my routine be? Like what products
Mm,
do I really, really need? Just like tell me. And then the conversation started to go, I'm like, are these products clean even? Like,
yeah.
can I use these on my kids? Like, is that okay? And I was like, God, are these products clean? Like,
Right.
let me look at my own salon, which has been there now for a decade. I own a salon too called Mare in West Hollywood. And I realized that they were not.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, either loaded with silicone or
Hmm.
SLS, like harsh sulfates and surfactants. So I knew I wanted to start with one product, the first product, because
Okay.
I did not have a business plan. I never even dreamed of getting the product line to kind of where it is today, I would say.
Wow.
I
Okay.
entered completely blind, except I had the knowledge of what product I needed for my clients and exactly what I wanted it to feel like, look like. And
Okay.
so I started with a styling oil. I knew I
Okay.
wanted it to be very, very lightweight because I felt like styling oils were a little bit on the thicker, heavier side
Hmm.
for my fine haired clients. But I realized everyone essentially wanted this protection, heat protection, humidity protection. They wanted defrizzing. It's a big issue
Okay.
for most people. And that's what styling oils really do. They create beautiful protection. They help you blow dry, or just defrizz and define. And so I started with the Santa Lucia styling oil. I started formulating it probably in 2017.
Okay. Wow.
And it didn't launch until 2021. So
Wow.
that was
It's a long
really,
process.
it's a
Yeah.
long
And
process.
COVID is even
And
changed.
COVID,
Yeah.
right? So like lockdown 2020, we were getting close to ready, and then launch in 2021 finally.
Wow. Wow.
And of course, like anything that can go wrong has gone wrong along the way.
Sure.
Just you have to weather those storms and sort of not rush anything.
Yeah. Incredible. So it started with the one, and then I can imagine that it was well received. So what followed from a line perspective?
Yeah, we were ready to launch it. I say it was really just me at the time. I was ready to launch it, but I had like no plan. I remember calling my friend who was like in PR and was like, "What's your business? What's your plan for launch?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I mean, I have a website and that's about it." And she was
No
like,
way.
"Okay." And I was like, "Can you help me figure out who I should like gift this to?" I had my own list of
Okay.
clients, friends, um, peers, hairdressers. That was
Yeah.
like most important to me. I was like, get this in the hands of hairdressers and if they like it. So I gave them early samples too, but
Okay.
I did a big mailing all on my own, literally in my living room here,
Love.
boxing it myself. I mean, capping all the bottles in my garage, boxing it myself, going to UPS, sending these little like vanilla boxes of reusable boxes that I was using at the time. And I think they were like, oh my God, what is this
Yeah,
like,
what are you shipping,
what is this
lady?
woman shipping? And that was our initial send out. And
Wow.
it was really well received. People loved the product, but it was
Okay.
teeny. Right? I was just doing it on my own. Um, but then I started to kind of put the pieces together, have more conversations with people who were obviously further along with their businesses, trying to just
Sure.
figure out like, okay, what is next?
Right.
Meanwhile, working in the background, developing more product because
Okay.
wanted to bring more of my vision
Mhm.
for the product and formulations to life.
I love that. What was one of your early on entrepreneurship lessons that you learned? If you didn't have a business plan and you just set out, I love that you literally just mailed out product and you're like, that was the plan.
That was the plan.
That was the plan.
That was the plan. Still a part of our go-to-market for any product launch. We still mail the product out. We just now have an office
Yeah.
and do it a little bit more
Yeah.
professionally and elevated. Um, I think it's a lesson in patience. It's a
Okay.
lesson in resilience.
Yeah.
It's a lesson in perseverance for sure. You just cannot give up. You
Yeah.
cannot give up. You keep it going, but it takes a lot of determination,
Yeah.
a lot, and a lot of patience.
Did you have those moments where you're like, I'm done, too hard, we're gonna give up?
Yes, I mean, I call myself a cockroach, which is not a sexy. I got to come up with a better, I don't know, species, animal. But it's like you just can't get me down,
Okay.
Like you can try, but you can't.
You coming
Um,
back.
exactly. And I think that that level of determination, you have to be a little bit cuckoo. It's
Yeah.
just, you're not going to give up on the dream.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think that, you know, it's in some ways good that I waited as long as I did
Okay.
because I have had a 20 plus year career already
Right.
working so hard and not giving up that this second chapter, I mean, that has brought my career as a hairstylist at the level, I've sort of gotten to in that career, right?
Yeah.
Working with the talent that I'm working with, having a salon, seeing it all truly in two
Yeah.
decades has taught me so much. And I bring a lot of that into this business. And I think
Okay.
sometimes I think about, oh, okay, my expectations here, this is where that's coming from. I
Mm-hmm.
have such high expectations of myself, and I have very high expectations of my team that is
Yep.
working on RŌZ. And I know my clients have high expectations
Yeah.
of me and of the team that they bring into the room, and they should.
Right.
And
That's the one
so,
thing is you start a business to be excellent, right? You don't start a business to just be average. That's something that I
yeah,
always say. And so expectations, why wouldn't they be through the roof, right?
yes. And that is your job as the owner, as the founder, to
Yeah.
set those expectations.
Yes.
And I think it's
Absolutely.
why founder-led businesses are, I think, are what like make this world go round.
Yeah.
Your values become the values really of the company and the organization. And I think it's very easy to go, oh, I'm being too hard, or I'm being
Right.
too critical, or my expectations are too high. And if anything, I think it's more important that that exists and that
Yeah.
those expectations are set at the beginning and that no one really dims the light of the founder. And then if anything, you build around you so that that can be elevated and carried on, right? With
Yeah.
or without you. And
Yes.
so I think that there are there are people out there that are there to kind of I think, minimize the founder and
Sure.
kind of right. And then there are people in the business that are here to just elevate that and carry that on for the team. And those are the types of people that I want around me.
Same.
And I feel very, very, very lucky that so far I have really, really found that. There have been moments and we've brought the wrong people into the organization and we've had to move on quickly from them.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times you know it really early on. I think the founder has really strong instincts. I think my instincts are really strong. And you just have to learn how to like move on from that because, you can't let people kind of take too much of your energy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that energy does set the tone. I have this saying that nice girls win, and that is our philosophy here at both the Tease as well as the Evoke agency too.
I love that. And
yeah.
that must be a huge value of yours.
It is. I've always said it, and kind of like you and the cockroach thing, right? It's like, maybe they don't win the first time, but they're going to come back. They're going to keep going.
It's so true. I really believe that there is room at the table. And I love that. I am not a gatekeeper either. I think like I just don't come from that mentality of like, keep your cards close.
Yeah.
I'm not that way.
Yeah.
I find something I love, I want to share it with all my friends. I think more is more and more brings more. And I've kind of really always had that mentality too.
Yeah. I'm a definite more is more gal too.
Yeah.
So as the line was expanding, I know one of the things mentioned in on your website is that you wanted to create products that earned a place in someone's routine versus adding unnecessary steps. How has that philosophy guided kind of the expansion of the product line?
Yes. I am a big believer that your products need to work really, really hard for you.
Okay.
And when they are formulations like the RŌZ formulations that really have a stylist mindset behind them. I mean, I get in the lab with our chemists. I am deep in there. These products need to work really, really hard, especially when you're paying a premium price. I mean, you're getting quality ingredients and formulas that are doing way more than just kind of one job.
Yeah.
But every single RŌZ product needs to earn its way onto that shelf.
I like that.
And into that kit. And that means they need to be the best of the absolute best and really, really good quality and good for you. Otherwise, I don't think people would see the value in them. And I'm not a believer in you need to have a ton to make your hair look great. I really believe a hair routine start to finish can be done with a few products.
All right.
5 tops. And depending on the results you're looking for. And so really each RŌZ product has to have multi-purpose, multi-benefits, right? That's where the hard work comes in. And I want to have something that really solves a very specific sort of problem, and really provide the results that the client's looking for. And that's really what we've been able to do so far. I do not see our range being, hundreds of products.
Okay.
I don't believe it needs to exist. I look at a shelf of some of these, product lines now. And even as a professional, I'm like, I'm sorry, what does this do? Like, what would I do? And I am not, the average consumer. I am a pro who has been literally in the hair space for my entire life. And I see these, ranges and I'm like, gosh, I really don't even know what problem this would solve for. So
we're creating problems to solve, right?
We're creating problems to solve. And I really don't want RŌZ, I don't want to ever limit our growth because I think there's still so much we can do and should do. Because there are a lot of hair types and there are a lot of things people are looking for. And so I understand that there are needs that should be met with products. However, they really need to have multi-purpose and really need to work incredibly, incredibly hard for the pros and for the clients. So that's my ethos with RŌZ. There's still a lot more for us to do to kind of, again, solve for these very specific issues people are facing with their hair. And I think like no better than a hairstylist, right? Who
Absolutely.
has
Yeah.
seen like every head of hair and talked to real clients in my chair, of
Right.
course, are doing these styles on the red carpet, which I understand is less relatable to the everyday person, but definitely relatable to stylists. So I think
Right.
that, they see that these products are really working.
And you talk to me a little bit about the formulation. So prioritizing clean ingredients, obviously
Yeah.
your sustainable packaging. How do you
Yeah.
balance those things that could be more expensive, right? Or more time
Absolutely.
consuming? How do you balance that as you develop out the line?
That is innovation to me at
Okay.
its core. And so for me, it's not interesting, it's not inspiring, and it's not in line with my own personal values to create a product for the sake of creating it.
Yeah.
It would
Okay.
be a lot easier if I was willing to make a hairspray with butane. I could do it tomorrow. I could get it
Mhm.
perfect, and we could launch it in 6 months. I
Okay.
refuse to do that because, by the way, there are great hairsprays out there, right?
Hmm.
Why would I create another one that's, as good as some of the best ones out there? For
Yeah.
me, it has to have a real differentiation.
Okay.
And so we are actually innovating with butane-free nitrogen propellants, aerosols,
What? Wow.
technology that hasn't existed before.
No way.
That to me is innovation. That to me is interesting. And if I
Yeah.
can get that innovation, again, it has to check so many boxes for me to get
Right.
excited about it.
Hmm.
That innovation in a formula will never exist in the RŌZ line, right? So
Okay.
we need to
Got
be
it.
able to take that innovation, that technology, and match it with a formula that is going to leave the hair
Okay.
feeling exactly what we're looking for, what I'm looking for, what my clients are looking for. And when those two things, that sort of innovation, technology, science is able to
Hmm.
meet this professional performance, clean, eco formulations, that is really where RŌZ sits. And that is
Okay.
what innovation really means to me. Um, and then I would say hydration is something that we talk about a lot with the
Hmm.
line.
Okay.
And that's because it solves so many of our problems with our hair, and we don't even realize it.
Hmm.
That this frizz, this major humidity issue, the damage, the breakage, it's all from dehydration, from stripping the hair of
Huh.
what it
Hmm.
needs. And so a lot of our ingredients and a lot of our formulas actually do this hydration. They hydrate
Okay.
the hair, but in an incredibly, incredibly lightweight way.
Wow.
So the actual raw materials are broken down into these very, very fine molecules that don't weigh the hair down.
Okay.
We'll use ingredients like hyaluronic acid, which we know about for the skin, right?
Hmm.
But they're so beneficial for the hair.
Hmm.
And, pair that with red microalgae. It's incredible what these formulations really, really do. And over time, the benefits of them also on the hair. So it's so fun to
Yeah.
learn about this. I know, obviously, as a hairstylist, exactly what I need it to feel like on the hair, right? And
Okay.
that's not something that a chemist is always thinking about.
Right.
And so the relationship between myself and the chemist, we are in lockstep creating these formulations together. And I go through tons of samples. Like some products, some of our products take 100, 125 iterations to
Wow.
get it to the final formula.
Okay. Oh, wow.
I mean, talk about diligence, talk about
Uh-huh.
patience. That's where all of this comes into
Yes.
play. And then we have our pro, sort of community that ends up testing these. Once they
Okay.
get to like, maybe the final five, I'm like, let's get these out because I don't want to be the only one testing these on heads of hair. Like, I want my pros. I would love their feedback. So we have some amazing pros in our in our community that actually do product testing with us. They
Okay.
give us their feedback early too. And I
Awesome.
actually feel less alone in that too then. It's
Yeah.
like I've got my people behind me that are like
Yes.
testing me, and we're often our feedback is so the same.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so like mine's very much. So it's so fun to feel like I'm in it with other people too.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, with your journey, I mean, obviously an independent founder brand, but now carried by Sephora,
Yeah.
Nordstrom,
Mhm.
professional salons. What has surprised you most about scaling with those retailers?
Scaling with those retailers, I think what surprised me is that you can think, oh my gosh, I don't know anything about this. Like,
Yeah.
we're going into Sephora, they're so big, we're so small. Like, no, they are so there for you in lockstep. You have a question, raise your hand. They're
Okay.
there to answer it. It is a partnership. Nobody is dictating anything.
It's a good viewpoint. Yeah.
It is absolutely a partnership. And Sephora, Credo, they have been such supportive partners. They are
Mm.
truly in it.
Okay.
I believe for like all tides rise. Like they
Okay.
get what they need. The brand also gets to elevate and lift, and we learn from them all the time.
Okay.
And it's been an incredible, incredible relationship. And I will also say the relationship is so key that you have,
Yeah.
I think, as the founder and that your team has with the retailers,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And then I would also say, you know, as a founder-led brand, they want to hear from you. And I think, again, this is where your intuition comes into play and why it's so key is you show up with what is important to you.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that they are trying to get you to be something that you're not.
Okay.
I think that for with retailers, with anyone coming in with investors coming in, you have to be so solid on just who you are.
Yeah.
And I think for consumers, right? Like people want to understand who you are, and if you don't understand who you are and you don't know understand what you stand for, it's going to be really hard to communicate that to anyone.
Yeah.
So I think getting very clear on what the brand stands for, and Sephora's done some of that work with us. They've been amazing kind of at even helping us refine these. Like, we know who we are, but like, if we're going to communicate that clearly to the Sephora
Right.
customer, they have spent time with us to even just go, okay, they're incredible marketers too. So actually
Yeah.
like, bringing them in to the conversation and utilizing them, they're like, we are here. We love this work. We love doing this work with brands. Like, that's the fun part of their day
Yeah.
too. And so they really even brought things out. Okay, we really think this is going to resonate with our client. Does that feel in line with you guys? Absolutely, yes. And my goal is to get our products to more people, not for
Okay.
scale, but because I truly believe we're helping people with their hair.
I love that.
And I'm like, what do we need to be doing to make sure
Yeah.
that people understand what we're about and what we're going to do for them? Because I know we're going to do it. We just have to figure out how to make sure that they know that we're
Yeah.
going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, even this conversation, I've learned so much. I mean, you do due diligence, like triple click into due diligence from
Yes.
a product formulation
Yes,
perspective. I
we do.
mean, and the iterations and the samples and getting it perfect, that's
Yes.
definitely a differentiator with all the big corporates out there or whatever it might be, right?
Yes. When you have a pro behind a brand, oh
Yeah.
boy, yeah, you better be ready because that
Yeah.
product is not launching until it's ready.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about your creativity, leadership, and kind of the community that you've built. So, throughout your career, you mentioned creative artist, business owner. Have those roles ever challenged each other? And how have you learned to navigate that kind of two sides of the brain, if you will?
Yes. I think it's really that you only have so much time in a day.
Yeah,
And for better or for worse, I wake up thinking about my work. I do.
I love that.
But I feel so lucky that I am in a career that I love.
Hmm.
And I think if all of us can be doing what we love and feel good at, my gosh,
The world
so
would be a
lucky.
different place,
The
right?
world would be a different place. It is
Very much so.
really, really fortunate. Um, I think that I am always working on myself and how to balance things better,
Okay.
right? I feel lucky that the brand and the hairstyling work feeds each other so much.
Yeah.
However, of course, what the brand needs from me and then my hairstyling needs and my clients' needs, of course, again, I only have so much time in a day. And so
Yep.
I have to be really good about prioritization. I can't be
Yeah.
everywhere all the time. So one, how can I make sure that RŌZ has the team members, has the voice, has people in there able to kind of make some of the day-to-day decisions, if
Yeah.
I'm not able
Yeah.
to respond, immediately, right?
Sure.
That's something we're still working towards because I
Okay.
very much am, the eyes, the ears, the voice, the
Yep.
heart,
Yep.
soul. But the team is exceptional and they do an incredible job of being that for me. However, I think, and this isn't a question you necessarily answered, but I think it's something that we think a lot about is how do you go from being a business where the founder is the everything to a business where the business is the everything? Like it's now in
Yeah.
a place where it has its own,
Yeah.
right? And that takes a little bit of time, but I think
Yeah.
we're entering that, right?
Yeah.
Where it's not just me anymore. It's
Yeah.
RŌZ, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's great. And that's an exciting time to be in because I think it allows me to be able to focus on the areas of the business where I'm the most valuable. And the reality is me behind the chair
Hmm.
is where I'm the most valuable.
Huh.
I
Interesting. I love that.
am in my sweet spot
Yeah.
when I am with clients, when I'm talking to
Okay.
people about their hair, when I am educating on hair. That's my background. That's what I'm great at.
Yeah.
And that's what I enjoy. And it happens to benefit the business the
Yeah.
most.
Seems like a
So
nice little lockstep. Yeah.
yeah. It's taken some time to really identify that, but the more
Mhm.
and more I can be doing this, talking to you about the world of hair and
Yeah.
beauty, the better.
Yeah.
And the more I can educate the consumer, the better. And the more I can have intimate conversations with my clients in the chair, the better. So
Yeah.
hopefully that's where I can continue to evolve.
I love that. I'm curious, how does your time split between the salon, celebrity, and the brand?
And I would say I get to test all my products when I'm actually doing hair.
Yeah.
So again, really helps with RŌZ. My time split any given day is different. Like I will
Yeah,
have a
that's fair.
day in front of my computer, on Zoom calls, answering emails, getting to some of the stuff that gets a little bit backed up when I'm on set.
Okay.
And then I have my set days.
Yeah.
Um, I'm also trying to be a little bit more of like a content machine, but
Okay.
it's not totally my nature. Some people are so much
Yeah.
better at it than I am, but I'm like trying, right? Like the rest of us. Because when I'm on set too, like people want insight into what's happening when I'm, on set too
For
behind the
sure.
scenes.
Yes.
So I'm trying
And
to do
it's
that too.
and it's the founder model. I mean, we know it
Yes.
works. I went through this evolution too last year. I'm like, I need to be more forward facing. And I've done that. And I will tell you that last year we almost doubled our business.
Oh my God.
It's
See?
just really, really interesting case study. So I would say, I mean, we all know it. I mean,
Yes.
I grew up, I'm 47, so I was obviously not a digital native. And so a non-digital native has a hard time being native,
I'm
right?
I'm right there. I'm
Yeah.
right
So,
there. Yeah.
but I would encourage you and everyone just to get out there. It doesn't have to be perfect.
It's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
It's so true. And I think yeah, some of that perfectionism voice, you're like, okay, no, 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 let's just try it. And I think the way that social media is moving, right? I mean, we really saw it when TikTok came into play. But Instagram is moving more towards that type of like
for sure.
content.
Yep,
Just doesn't have to be perfect. And I think, we're probably more Instagrammers than we are, but
for sure.
but like I see everything on Instagram, but it's starting to be a little bit less of that, like, this
Yeah.
is so pretty and that's what is working. It's like, no, just it can be raw and real, and that's great.
I mean, a peek into a day in your life would be absolutely fascinating.
If you
It
can
really would.
figure out how someone can come with me and do that and not make it weird, great.
I hear ya. Okay, let's wrap. I want to understand where you think the future of beauty is going. I mean, obviously it's changed so drastically. We went through COVID, now here we are. What shifts do you think are on the horizon?
Mm. Authenticity is so key. And what I mean by that is I think people want what's real.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you're able to speak to them and see them and meet them in a way that feels real,
Yeah.
that is differentiated, because we're obviously moving into a time where we can't tell the difference in some ways
Right.
between what's real and what's not real, right?
Yeah.
Emotional resonance,
Yeah.
is
Mhm.
real,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And
Mhm.
so I think if you're able to meet people in that way, and beauty is emotional.
Yeah.
Beauty is absolutely emotional.
Right.
And so I think, to me, that's something we're always trying. What do people really, really want? And I
Yeah.
think that's
Right.
what will
Right.
continue to set RŌZ apart.
Yeah. And it definitely clear in this conversation that absolutely you have multiple layers of differentiation and authenticity. So congratulations on everything you've built in a wildly successful career. I'm excited to see where the next 24 years take you.
Thank you so much. This was such a fun conversation to have, and I
So good.
appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. I got a couple more, our quick takes if you've got a
Yeah.
minute. Okay.
Yeah.
So next up, we're going to do the Tease quick takes. And so I'm going to say a quick take question to you, and you're just going to come with what the answer. There you go.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Great.
If you could instantly master one skill, what would it be? And it doesn't have to be hair related.
Patience.
Oh, yes. We can all use, we all need, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What is your current go-to song or album?
Rosalia.
Okay.
Rosalia Lux. Just saw her
Ooh.
in concert, nearly died and went to heaven.
All right. Like it. All right. What haircut or color trend are you secretly obsessed with right now?
I love bobs.
Okay.
I just love a bob always.
It's so fresh.
I love cutting a bob. Here I am with like hair down to my waist, but like I love cutting a bob. It's so fun. I do think they're so chic, and there's like so much within them, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, choppy, blunt, like volume, textured. It's so fun. So much
Love it.
range in this like one very chic style.
Love it. Okay. This is an interesting one for you because you're already working with the biggest and best celebs. But if you could work with one celeb that you're not right now, who would it be? And what would you do to their hair?
Oh my God. I'm thinking, I feel like it would be fun to do a politician at some point.
Okay.
I never have. But I feel like that could be a really interesting, fun opportunity.
Yeah.
And just something really different, because I love this idea of a woman who is incredibly strong, very convicted, and needs to show up in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be really fun to figure out how to like bring out all of that.
Yeah.
So that
Like
could be really fun at some point.
The softness with the strength or something, that's the juxtaposition of that. That's interesting. I love that.
Exactly.
Great
We actually
answer.
have a campaign right now that's all about soft strength, and it's our new product launch. But to me, it was really exactly that. It was like how women show up. We carry the weight of the world, but we really show up also with this softness and effortlessness too. Like we can't show that we have the weight on us.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
So yeah. I'm
Last
fascinated
one.
by that.
I love that. Last one. What's a tiny thing that made you smile this week?
My babies.
Oh,
They're tiny.
are they?
I have a 1.5-year-old baby
my.
girl, and then I have this almost 7-year-old son.
Okay.
And he gave me a hug this morning because I made him
Aw.
pancakes. And that was a very special moment.
That is lovely. I love that.
And it's not every morning that I'm making breakfast because
I love
I'm
it.
doing 500 other things. But
Uh-huh.
it's a reminder that like, even if I
Yeah.
can just like get to that one thing, it
Right.
is meaningful to them.
I love that. That's beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Volume Up by the Tease. It was an absolute honor and pleasure to get to know you and learn about the brand.
Thank you so much for having me. It was such an honor.
I mean, Jeff, the passion behind the brand and
What an
the
icon.
details in the, incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm so happy for her that the brand just took off. It is taking off.
I mean, and I've said this to her. There's probably no other brand that I'm aware of that celebrity hairstylists are using for real in their
For real.
kits.
Yeah. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is the Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Arbaje is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to our creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and for putting together the graphics and videos for this episode.